Hi guys, this is GSMDome and I'm here with the unboxing of the OnePlus Nord CE5. We've also unboxed the OnePlus Nord 5, so check out that video as well. They debuted together on July 8th and this is supposed to be a lighter offering compared to that model. That one has a Snapdragon 8S Gen 3, this one a MediaTek, and I have to say at first sight this bag actually reminds me of an iPhone, thanks to the pill-shaped camera. It's a very flat phone and also pretty minimalistic in design, available in a sleek black version. Now, the thing is that you're getting the same battery capacity, 5000 mAh, as the OnePlus Nord 5. You're also getting a MediaTek Dimensity 8350 processor, AMOLED screen, which is quite large, and everything below 200 grams. Now, it's an unboxing, so let's see what's inside the box. I should also mention that there is no AI button here, and sadly we only have one speaker at the bottom. No stereo speakers. I haven't seen a phone with a single speaker in a while now. Now in the box we have the following. We have the red cable from USB-C to USB-A. We have a bunch of quick guides and safety guides, and obviously there should also be this key used to access the slots. Now this time when I say slots, I don't just mean 2 nano SIMs. No, we also have a micro SD, believe it or not. It seems shocking, not as shocking as having only one speaker, but you get it. Okay, so that's everything available in the box. Let's talk design. So the phone weighs 199 grams. It comes in black or white and measures 8.17 millimeters in thickness. I should mention that the colors are Marble Mist and Black Infinity. Apparently the phone has an even narrower screen-to-body ratio compared to the OnePlus Nord 5, something like 94%. That model has 93%, so yeah, very narrow bezels, which would make the Galaxy A56 and A36 totally jealous. Now aside from that, at the front we have a screen which has a protection pre-applied from the factory. At the back side seems to be polycarbonate, where the frame is also polycarbonate. Now it's pretty easy to handle thanks to the flat frame, but it's a bit too long for my taste. At least it's narrow enough for me to hold it properly. Also, there's been some compromises here. I'm going to put this closer to my microphone. You can see how clicky the buttons are. So if I keep pressing them, they're very clicky and a bit cheap feeling. That's one of my first complaints. Aside from that, time to move on, talk about the screen. Obviously AMOLED you cannot do without nowadays. 6.77 inches, resolution of 2392 over 1080 pixels, 1430 nits of brightness, 120 Hz refresh rate, AMOLED with HDR support. Now the CPU inside the phone, I probably already mentioned, it's a MediaTek Dimensity 8350 Apex actually, and the GPU is the G615MC6. The RAM quantity here is 8 gigs and we're lucky enough to have LPDDR5X. The storage is 128 gigabytes, UFS 3.1. There are versions which should have more, but there's also micro SD up to 1 terabyte supported here. Speaking of storage, you can take RAM from it and add it here, expand RAM with the RAM expansion feature. Now on the battery side of things, I can use IDA or I can just use common sense and look in the settings, but let's use this one. 5200 mAh with 80 watt super VOOC charging, the same specs as the OnePlus Nord 5. Unless you're in India, there you're getting 6600 mAh for some reason. Okay, so on the connectivity front, you're getting stuff like Wi-Fi 6, 5G, Bluetooth 5.4, GPS, apparently also infrared, although I don't see an emitter here, NFC and a USB-C 2.0 port at the bottom. This is the single speaker that we're getting here. Once again, no love for stereo. Now on the camera front, I have a 16 megapixel shooter capable of full HD capture. It has a Sony IMX480 sensor and it has fixed focus. At the back side, a pretty simple setup. This is the LED flash. I have a main 50 megapixel camera with a Sony Lithia 600 sensor with OIS and f1.8 aperture, and an 8 megapixel ultra wide camera with fixed focus, so no love for macro. 112 degrees, 20x zoom maximum in digital and 10x zoom maximum for video. You can shoot video up to 4K 60 with the back camera. And if you look at the UI, you're getting basically all the features of the OnePlus Nord 5, or most of them. Panorama, dual view video, high resolution, time-lapse, tilt shift, night, slow-mo, document scanner, portrait with a few cute filters and options. Some of them resemble the film cameras. In the photo section, be advised and look here at this small triangle. You can see some stages, smart scenes, stage silhouette, fireworks available. You also have live pics, live photo, and in the video you can see up to 4K 60, which is impressive for this price range. There's also exposure setup here, and the Pro mode lets you tweak white balance, focus, exposure, shutter, and ISO. That's basically it when it comes to the camera. Now, if you want to talk about the software, we're running on Android 15, and on top of it is Oxygen OS 15. Not very sure how many years of updates we'll get. I know that the OnePlus Nord 5 has 4 years. This one, well, not very sure. As far as the AI smarts are concerned, we obviously have Gemini available, coupled with Gemini Live. And of course, you can also have Circle to Search available, which, aside from circling stuff on the screen and recognizing it, is able to recognize songs and translate what's on the screen. By the way, this is Oppo's Brino AI assistant powering some of the smart features that we have here. Okay, what else? On the photo side of things, now let's say we take a photo, go to Photos, go here, press Edit. This is the AI editor. There's AI Recompose, AI Eraser, Detail Boost, Unblur, and the Reflection Eraser, smart AI features which you'll see on most phones. Aside from that, if you're in the browser and you swipe from the side, with this sidebar, you can get a summary of the information or have it read to you. These options change depending on the menu you're in. We also have a gaming area, so if you're a gamer, you're benefiting from a large vapor chamber and also some tweaks related to performance, capture, do not disturb. This is the phone manager, which lets you manage the resources of the device. And we also have a note-taking application with some AI smarts, so notes. Start a note from here, and here you can either polish it, format it, continue writing, elaborate it, shorten it, make it more formal or casual. Now, if you're here on the screen and you see something you like, you can do something like swiping with 3 fingers on the screen like this. It's going to be analyzed by the smart Brino assistant and saved as a note. So it takes the photo, it decrypts the information from it and save it as a note, just like we had on the OnePlus Nord 5, but that was a dedicated button for it. Here we don't have it. Yeah, pretty cool. And here you can also find another useful feature. It's called Share with iPhone or PC. You can even get connected to a Mac easily. There's a link to Windows as well, and of course customization options galore. Always on display, font, icons, colors, and so forth. There's a fingerprint scanner here of the optical variety, which I forgot to mention. And of course, there are extras here in the accessibility area. There's a canvas, which allows for multitasking, screen recognition, floating windows, one-handed use, gloves mode, as well as drag and drop. There's a Zen space if you want to stay focused and get rid of the distractions. There's a kids mode and a simple mode. Plus voice scribe, which turns audio recordings into text, useful for students and journalists. AI search is also available here with these applications. So basically, if you have a shopping list for your vacation and you kill some items, you search there and it will receive some, I would say, suggestions of things to take on your holiday. I would say this is pretty much it as far as this handset is concerned. That's everything we're getting here, I think. More will be learned when it comes time for the review. So, OnePlus Nord CE5, I see it as a sort of an affordable handset which is a bit lighter and comfier to use than the OnePlus Nord 5, keeps the core of the AI features, has some compromises related to the camera and also to the CPU. We don't have a Snapdragon, we have a MediaTek, which is not exactly bad nowadays. I would expect for it to get better battery life compared to the Nord 5, especially since OnePlus itself promises something like, I don't know, 2 days of use, which is a pretty bold promise. I guess we'll have to wait and see. So far, I would say this is, I feel a bit underwhelming on account of the clicky buttons and the mono speaker, but I'll see what it can do on the battery life section and the camera section. We'll be back with more soon. Goodbye.